have so many things to talk about in today's Forsaken news, including news about the Veeronica, Valkyrie, and Charlatan, a follow-up on the balance changes that I talked about yesterday, news about skins being somewhat changed and maybe even redesigned, and just so many more. This one is another important one, and I guarantee you'd want to watch this until the end. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. First of all, we have amazing news for some upcoming characters. Firstly, we have some news about 3 upcoming characters, Charlatan Veeronica and Valkyrie. This tweet that was sent by Forsaken Confession basically revealed some things about these 3 killers that I just mentioned. Let's talk about Charlatan first, who was the main point of this tweet. It was mentioned by Cacklebox, who is an artist and contributor for Forsaken, that the Charlatan killer is indeed coming into the game. Unfortunately, though, progress for her has been slow, as Cacklebox said, quote, haven't recently had a chance to advance her stuff. This might suggest that development for Charlatan is slow and is stagnant at the moment. That said, Cacklebox also said that when more content is made for Charlatan, it'll likely not be publicized for a good while to keep the surprise. This is pretty sad news, as it could mean that it might take quite a while until we hear more news or leaks about Charlatan again, which is pretty disappointing, especially for those who love this killer. But on the bright side, a surprise is mentioned in Cacklebox's reply, and this might mean that there is something special in store for Charlatan. Who knows? Despite progress for Charlatan being slow and she might not teased and leaked for the time being, it is still good news to hear that she is coming and is not scrapped. And I can't wait to see what the devs have in store for this killer, especially after her not being talked about for quite some time. Moving on, we also have news about the Valkyrie survivor. Unfortunately, as Cacklebox mentioned, the designer for Valkyrie left early in Valkyrie's development, and therefore Cacklebox have been given the lead role for Valkyrie's concepts. As of right now, I feel like Valkyrie is left in the gray, and my theory gets stronger after Cacklebox said that he, quote, can't say when stuff about Valkyrie might drop. This might mean that they're still figuring things out about this character and is therefore still in the gray or is in limbo. I would also like to add that Cacklebox is juggling a lot of character concepts right now, including Guest 666, Doombringer, and many more. Because of this, he might have his hands full at the moment and therefore might focus on these characters more instead of Valkyrie, because more stuff has been leaked and known about these characters as opposed to Valkyrie. However, do keep in mind that this is just a theory and a speculation based on what I've seen, and nothing is confirmed yet except for the fact that the designer for Valkyrie have left, and Cacklebox can't say anything about when stuffs about Valkyrie might drop. Despite the sad news, this is still better than the survivor being scrapped and canceled completely. The last piece of information that was leaked from the tweet Forsaken Confession has made is about Veeronica. It was recently confirmed that Veeronica is indeed still being worked on as of right now, though that is the only thing that Cacklebox had said, and no further details was added. However, I have a speculation that Veeronica might be coming in the next big update, because the devs did mention how the next major update after Noli will include a survivalist-type survivor. Because Veeronica herself is a survivalist, this might indicate that she might be the survivor the devs was referring to. Though keep in mind that this is just a theory and I might be wrong. Who knows that the devs will add another survivor instead of Veeronica, or even a brand new survivalist survivor that we haven't heard about yet. Next, we have some news that might impact a lot of the existing skins in-game. So recently, Hitoko sent out this tweet in Twitter that basically said that he is going to fix one of the major issues that's currently going on in Forsaken. This issue is the recognizability issues for a lot of skins in the game, and it might mean that specific skins for specific characters makes the character look somewhat different to the original design for said character if they aren't using a skin. An example of this might be the Mafioso skin and the Cupcake skin, which was the image Hitoko attached in his post. Hitoko said that he chose Cupcake as an example because the minions look more like a survivor than a minion for Cool Kid, which I can pretty much understand. Now, it wasn't explicitly mentioned on how they will actually fix this issue, but I'm assuming that they will do a bit of redesign to skins that the devs have classified to have recognizability issues and maybe tweak them a bit but not too much that they will look completely different to the original design. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this decision from the devs in the comment sections down below, because I've seen many mixed opinions about this online and how some people agreed and support it, and how others just didn't want this change as they think that the issue is not as big as the devs claimed it to be. That said though, I am interested on how the devs will solve this issue and how this will end up like in the future. Moving on, we have some follow-up on yesterday's balance changes. If you don't know, Kaiser had made a tweet about upcoming balance changes that he has in planned. The follow-up include a showcase on TAF's new highlight changes and changes for Dusakar. Let's start off from TAF's changes. Here's a showcase that Kaiser had leaked about how TAF's highlight might look like. Take a look. It basically just features a green outline on TAF's traps and makes it glowing after he has placed it, which is a cool little feature. It's also important to note that this will be visible to not only TAF himself, but also other survivors who you are playing with. Next, let's talk about changes for Dusakar. The changes basically said that Dusakar can now sprint during spawn protection and plasma beam, and they no longer slow the user heavily. Apart from this, Dusakar's spawn protection duration will be reduced from 10 seconds to 4 seconds. Next, multiple Dusakars no longer impact resistance level for spawn protection. Moving on, Dusakar's spawn protection wall interference timer will be decreased from 2.5 seconds to 1 second. The spawn protection recently protected timer will be increased from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. Plasma beam would now grant 20 over health, but every other Dusakar reduces this amount by 2.5. The plasma beam hitbox will also be changed so that it's a little bit shorter but wider in size. And finally, plasma beam cooldown is increased to 35 seconds. Now do keep in mind that these changes are not final and is pretty much subject to changes, as Kaiser did say that this is very not final. The reason as to why this changes was implemented was apparently because Kaiser is trying to make Dusakar more effective in the mid-range and lowering his long-range capability, and that Dusakar is very good in competitive lobbies, but is useless in non-competitive lobbies. That said though, do let me know your thoughts about this changes in the comments down below. I will once again refrain from giving my personal opinions about these changes because I don't play Dusakar at all, so I'll let the discussions happen among you guys. Moving on, I'd like to talk about something that has gone quite viral in the Forsaken community. So recently, this tweet was sent in Twitter, and it features a very clickbait and misinfo Forsaken news thumbnail saying that Noli is scrapped. Believe it or not, the video is actually real and is even up on YouTube right now. The video in itself is very clearly made by AI, and even the thumbnail is most likely AI generated. It's clear that he knows nothing about Forsaken at all, as his video is complete misinformation and I don't understand a thing that he's saying. It's also very obvious that he uses AI script. You can just tell when you watch the video. It's also obvious that he used my video as heavy reference because almost everything I talked about and every image I use in my video is being used in his video, which I really dislike. It just feels like he's ripping off of my content, and I don't like this at all. This issue gets even bigger because the Forsaken News Twitter talked about it and is basically saying how it's massive disrespect towards TMG Boom because of the thumbnail this person used, and is upset because it's using his name in the thumbnail but just changed and edited using AI. And honestly, I couldn't agree more with Forsaken News here. Now I'm fully aware that making Forsaken News video is completely fine because it's an accessible niche and is public information. However, I am upset that people are just using Noli to spread misinformation and make clickbaits out of him to take advantage of vulnerable people that is desperate for Noli just for a few clicks and likes, and is even disrespecting people in the process. This is unacceptable, and I do wish for this guy to stop or to change. That said though, there's many instances where this has happened, and I'd like to spread awareness for it yet again. Anyways, that is all for the video. If you enjoyed it so far, please do give it a like and subscribe for more content like this one. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.